Hello guys, welcome back. In this video we'll be discussing about the chapter number 10th, that is Respiration in Organisms, class 7th science. Okay, so in this section we'll be studying or we'll be answering two important questions based on this chapter, that is, why do we respire, or we can say, why do we breathe? What is the purpose of breathing? Okay, let us understand that. And one more question that will be answered in this video, that is, how food helps us in gaining energy. Okay, so these two questions will be answered in this video. So we'll take up with the first one. Okay, so first one is basically about why do we respire. Respire means breathing. Okay, so first of all the living organisms are made up of what? Small units. Okay, all the living organisms are made up of what? Small units that are called as something called cells. In detail, we will be studying about cells in the 8th class. Okay, so basically you need to remember that all the living organisms are made up of what? Small units, which are called as what? Cells. So basically the cells are present in what? In our human body, or we can say in all living organisms. So these cells, what does it do? This do or some sort of functions. Okay, functions. Now what functions? It depends on the organs also. Okay, so suppose the cells are present in some digestive system, okay, or transportation or respiratory system, so that will be doing that particular job. So suppose the cells, for example, it is present, some similar cells, a group of cells are present in what? Suppose we consider in digestive system. So in that will be, the cell will be performing some function that is nothing but digestion, breaking down or complex some substances, forming the proteins and all. Okay, so basic idea is that these cells do some function, okay, based on wherever they are present. Okay, now to do some sort of function, they need what? Energy. That is an important thing. Okay, for any function, the cells need what? Energy. So where do they get energy from? Okay, so basically all the living organisms need what? Food. This food gives them energy. So basically energy will be, so they will get energy from what? That we intake. Okay, now the energy present in the food get released when what? When they respire. Okay, this you have to understand. So I'll repeat this whole process. That is nothing but, why do we respire? Why do we breathe? That means inhalation as well as exhalation. Why we need to inhale oxygen or exhale carbon dioxide? The main purpose is that the first thing you have to understand that all the living organisms are made up of what? Small units, that is nothing but what? Cells. Cells do some sort of functions based on wherever they are present in the organs. Suppose they are present in the digestive system or some organs, excretory system. So they will be doing that particular job. To do that function, they need what? Energy. So where do they get energy from? So they will get energy from food that we intake. So we eat food. From that food they will get energy. For getting, so from food to energy, to get energy from the food, they need to respire. That means they need to breathe. Okay, that we will be studying. So basically from food to energy we need to respire. Okay, this is a basic concept. Now I'll be answering the second question. Okay, now we'll move on to the second question. So what was the second question? Now, how food help us gaining energy? How food help us gaining energy. Okay. To answer this question, see how food helps us gaining energy. Now we know that from food to energy, we need what? We need to respire or we need to breathe. So when we breathe, we intake what? As we breathe, okay, we intake what? We take air, oxygen rich. That means we take oxygen, okay, that's we take and releases what? Carbon dioxide, right? No, we take oxygen but releases what? Carbon dioxide. So some sort of process is happening so that's why oxygen is getting converted into what we can say carbon dioxide, right? So what happens is that this oxygen is transported to all our body, to the cells. Okay, so we intake oxygen, this is transport to the cells. Now what does cells do? As I already said, they do some function. For that they need energy. To get energy, what they do? The food we intake, that is converted into energy, some sort of energy. Okay. Now food is getting converted to energy as we respire. That means oxygen comes into the play. Okay. The food in the presence of oxygen, food we can consider as glucose also. Glucose, that is nothing but the energy source. So food is getting converted to the energy in the presence of what? Oxygen. So as we intake, as we breathe, so we are getting what? Intaking what? Oxygen. So food in the presence of oxygen gives what? Energy. Right? So basically food gets break. We have to what do you do in our body? What happens? The food or the cells helps in what? Breaking down the food to energy. Okay, this process happens what? Cells, right? So cells helps in breaking down the food and we get energy. Okay, so how food helps us in gaining energy? As we breathe, what happens? Oxygen. So in the cells, as what happens? The oxygen reaches every cells in our body. Now what happens when the food is food in the presence of oxygen, energy is released. That's the main concept of this. So how food help us gaining energy? Just because of what we breathe. The cells helps in breaking down the food and we get energy.